Hello everyone, this is the New Hope team. And today we're going to talk about our trading histories, about our trading accounts, because we have just released a complete update of our website. Now we have a new section called Trading Histories. And in this section, we want to show you real trading reports from our trading accounts.
Not only from ours, but also from our clients' accounts. But often, in addition to our own accounts, clients also give us access when we ask them, though that's a rare exception. Let's put it that way, because everyone tries not to reveal their brokers.
All right. So now we're going to move into a small window at the bottom, and the trading terminal will open up in front of you, where we've prepared several trading accounts to discuss with our trader Ivan, who will definitely tell us which strategy we used with this broker. So our first broker is IC Trading.
Well, not maybe. You should show an example.
All right.
The table at the beginning.
Okay.
We've selected a table from several accounts. Here we have a table, so this is for a maximum of about 3 months. So we constantly accumulate these kinds of accounts from different brokers. Accordingly, we keep this table somewhere in case access changes or something else happens. Here we've just selected the ones that are ready, the separate ones. So let's discuss some of these accounts separately, because there's no point in showing all of them. If you look at the table, you can see that many of them are similar.
Yes, you can see the same brokers, even at the beginning, IC Trading, a lot of American ones. All right, let's start with IC Trading then. Also, for clients, this entire table will be available in open access on our website. Anyone can go in, get it for free, and connect through their own trading terminal, or through the terminal.
Verification.
MT4 or MT5. All access will be free. And you can also see it on the screen right now and try to copy it. All right, good. Our first account is IC Trading, MetaTrader 5. I'll immediately show the full history so it's clear. So, Ivan.
Yes.
Here, our deposit is shown as 5,100.
Yes, that's correct.
And in the end, we withdrew about 25,000.
Yes, and the most interesting thing is that we did this, if I remember correctly, in 2 days.
In 2 days?
Yes.
I'll now scroll the trading history up. And let's check. We'll go all the way to the top and take a look. So 5,100 was our deposit. Where is the very first day? So 08, 0812, right? Again, I see that. The orders were placed manually. That is the order manual. Yes, as if a real person was trading, not a trading robot. So this is one of the main advantages of our trading systems.
Yes, that's done on purpose, to bypass backup broker plugins.
Listen, no, it wasn't in 2 days, Vanya. We started on the 12th, and now it's already the 21st day.
Yeah, most likely. The first days were just tests, but that's not the point. Yes, so here we have a 500% net profit on this account. We had about 10 such accounts. I'll describe the situation as it happened. So we knew that this broker had a number of artificial delays which prevented us from trading normally. And this main company has a subsidiary, a division, it's IC Trading, which is a subsidiary of IC Markets. And there the delay plugins were completely absent. We got ready, and since this is a huge broker with a strong reputation, well, they have a big reputation, it would be very difficult for them to cancel anything. That's very important for them. So accordingly, we started trading aggressively. We immediately opened about 7 or 8 accounts. In total, we had 10 accounts, and we traded for about 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, we withdrew around $280,000. This is exactly what we often talk about. There are two things that we constantly mention. First, when an opportunity arises and you see it, You need to take advantage of it because it might close in a week, 2 or 3. Yes, with some brokers, we can trade for up to half a year. For example, with Paperstone, we traded every day, deposited 10,000 at a time, and they paid us out over the course of 4 months. But here, they let us trade properly for just 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, we were making money. We have accounts. You can check in the table. I'm not sure if it made it into the table here or not. But there are accounts where we withdrew 30 or 1,000. There are some with 18,000. No, I mean right at the top, IC Trading. Maybe not all the accounts are listed here.
Aha.
But if you look there, you'll see that everywhere the amounts were large and the profits were significant. So we set up, the broker had only one restriction. A trade couldn't be shorter than 10 seconds. So accordingly, we activated the smart hidden strategy and set up 3 Kokotog locks. That is, you can use 3 opposing positions at the same time. And so, thanks to this, we significantly increased the frequency of trades. And we have an auto lot feature for this. This is our unique system. Why? Because we combined locking trades with auto lot, and as a result, when the deposit grows, the trading lot increases immediately. So in a very short period of time, for example, within an hour, you can quickly grow your deposit from a small amount to 3, 5, or even 10 times its size. And here's the thing, if you trust this broker, then he might pay out everything. If it's an average broker, as we mentioned earlier, we don't recommend making more than 100% in a week or 2 because smaller brokers always try to take the money and disappear. In other words, they don't like it when you earn too much.
Ivan, let me interrupt you. I found that on the 27th, apparently, the account was set up, and on the 27th, our volume immediately jumped from 0 to 10 and then went to 19 and 7. So it means that active trading started on the 27th.
Yes. We were testing.
On the 27th and 28th, trading continued with the 21st lot. Right? On the 28th, we also worked with the 21st lot. And that's it. So on the 27th and 28th, that's the entire profit volume.
In just 2 days.
Up to 25,000. It was made in 2 days.
Yes, that's right.
And here's an interesting question that the traders are probably wondering. What happened next? Why didn't we just keep trading with the 21st lot indefinitely?
It's very simple. Even very large companies always have a certain limit, beyond which it's no longer profitable for them to work with you. Yes, they have reputational risks that they might incur, but they also have a risk limit for how much they can pay out to you. And it doesn't matter what deposit you started with. Let me explain. We could start with 5,000, earn 25,000 and withdraw it without any issues. They gave us all the money. No one asked any questions. 25,000 isn't such a large amount for such a big broker. But if we make 200,000, it's easier for them to pay the regulator $30,000. Everyone turns a blind eye and we don't get paid anything. In the best case, they just return our balance. So when we realize that the situation is on the edge and there's no point in growing the deposit further, it's best to stop and lock in the profit. Greed doesn't always play the key role in this kind of trading. In other words, we act with understanding, let's put it this way, with the experience we already have, which is more than 12, 13 years.
13 years, yes?
Yes. So we have a huge amount of experience and we're not the kind of people who just speculate about what will happen when we suddenly make money or how the broker will behave. We don't dream about it. We do it every day. We're constantly earning. We know exactly how a broker behaves when they refuse to pay out money. And we know when it's better to stop and when it's better to push harder. That's very important. That really sets us apart from those who tell fairy tales about making millions and claim that their withdrawals work a bit differently on the market.
Yes. All right, let's move on then.
Yes, of course.
Everything is clear. Let's move on then. Mex Atlantic.
Yes.
The Max Atlantic account.
Yes.
All right, now I'll also pull up the entire history for all time. So what do we have here in terms of the deposit? The deposit is 10,000 and the profit is 7,300.
Yes. Actually, you could have traded here with just $1,000 and earned just as much, around 6,000 or 7,000.
I see there isn't that much history here. Yeah?
Yes.
We started on the 25th, the 18th. Uh-huh.
Everything is much simpler here. Why is the deposit 10,000? We started trading on ECN accounts. ECN accounts started from $10,000. Accordingly, that was the minimum entry threshold. We did it. That's it. And we fixed the profit at the level we considered acceptable for this broker. We had a case 2 years ago where we made 340,000 with the broker Max in just 2 days. They didn't give them to us. And even the local regulator for that broker didn't help. And we are citizens. What's the right word? Residents.
Are you talking about Dubai?
We are residents of the country where the regulator is located. The regulator didn't help us. If a broker regularly pays money, the regulator's fees, then everyone just turns a blind eye to situations like this. So we were making profits, more of 6,000 or 7,000. If you look at the table, I think I added only about 10 accounts to that table, even though there were more than 20. So we also traded all the accounts starting from 10,000. And the profit was 6,000 or 7,000. Then we managed to switch to another type of account. And there the deposits were 3,000. And we were making profits of $3,000 to $6,000 as well, and withdrawing them. The strategy used here was hidden. The only thing that mattered was the duration of the trades.
Yes, you can see the orders are very long.
The broker said that trades needed to last at least 1 minute, preferably 2. So we tried to meet all these criteria and didn't take unnecessary risks, because we saw that the broker was paying out. If everything suits him, why push your luck? And we would have kept working like that until after 2.5 months, the broker changed the execution time from 100 milliseconds to 600. So that's how we realized that either the liquidity provider or the MIH broker wanted to get rid of us, so we left there without any issues.
Usually after about a quarter or half a year, brokers bring me back to
Yes.
the old settings, and you can trade with them all over again. Basically, that's standard practice.
Yes.
So if you open an account now and nothing works, it doesn't mean it won't start working in 2 or 3 months. That's why we recommend updating and testing every month.
Yes, absolutely. Even if you just keep the minimum amount, like $20, and check a couple of trades, that's enough. Let me give you a simple example of what happens at a broker when they see that people are starting to make money quickly. In other words, they notice that their overall money, nor delta, is increasing. That means clients are making profits. This creates a stressful situation for them. The dealing department always turns on plugins and tries either to cut profits. Well, then they have a quick meeting, a small gathering where they start discussing what to cut off completely, or they say, we can't take this kind of risk, let's just pay them out, it's a small amount. And usually that's how the issue gets resolved. And most often, in these stressful situations, they just turn on everything they possibly can. So the first plugin, the second, the third, whatever it takes, they block the account, shut down the personal dashboard, do anything just to stop us from making money. And then they sort things out afterwards. This stressful wave lasts for 2 or 3 months. And then most of the time, they turn off the plugins until the next wave, until a new batch of traders comes in.
Now, experienced traders will tell you, Ivan, that's not how it works. If you earn money honestly, the broker pays honestly, because brokers make their money from commissions.
Yes, that's exactly how the market works.
Okay, but we're not going to get into that topic.
That's a very long discussion. We could talk about it.
We're moving on to ABC Financial Group, the broker. Here in general, I like this broker because clients very often ask, what the minimum deposit is to start trading. Personally, I would actually recommend a couple of thousand, well, to $2,000 or $3,000. I think that's the minimum reasonable amount. But on this trading account, the deposit is $200. As I understand it, the leverage here is 500 and up.
Yes, 500 leverage. Yes, that's correct.
Because, well, if you have $500 and 30 times leverage, you won't get very far. And with some instruments, as I understand it, you won't be able to open a position at all.
Yes, yes. They also sent us another one for testing. Well, let's put it this way. We are periodically sent accounts to test and review. We refuse very often. But since this is our acquaintance, we decided to take a look at this account. So I put it on a test, and it worked more or less for quite a long time. That is, it was clear that it could make money, but there was no potential from the market's point of view. How do such accounts even appear? The first thing we check, that this broker, ECB, has 2 or 3 regulations. This is a very important factor for a company. In other words, the company is willing to pay for regulations. That means they have money. That's the first point. Second, if the entire company, ECB, has the whole company, that is with UK regulation, this is already a very good sign that you can work here. And so when we got ready, 2 factors coincided. First, we set up the account. That is, it was more or less working. And second, the Trump trade war happened and the market and gold started to skyrocket. Volatility increased. What does that do for us? Look, we have a spread, for example, of 20 points. Usually the signals are about 13 points. So we give up the 20 to the spread and commission and potentially can earn the other 20. What happens during these kinds of mega volatile moments? The impulses become 70, 80, even $1 instead of 40. And it turns out that even when a trade slips, we still potentially end up in profit. In other words, our profit window grows dramatically by several times. Because of this, profitability increases. And here's a vivid example. If you scroll through this account and take a look, you'll see that the main profit was made in just 1 trading day. So we were growing little by little. For 3 or 4 days, there was only a small profit. And when the mega volatility started and we simply activated this account, it went from $400 to $3,500 in a single day. I stopped it for only one reason, because this kind of insane account multiplication just makes further growth pointless. The next day, we simply prepared several accounts and started working with them. But cases like this do happen. So when people tell you that it's impossible to make money starting from $200 or even $50, that's not true. There are just certain factors you need to take into account. For example, a combination of circumstances. A working system, a reliable broker, and a volatile market. When all of these align, you can really make a very good profit.
Like with this account, turning $200 into a much larger sum is truly an excellent result, especially since, as we scrolled through, we realized that the only active day was the 4th of April, and then we withdrew everything because the volume started growing very quickly. All right, so everyone's favorite broker? Yes. Actually, I feel like it works every year.
Well, for us, yes. For others, no. I don't know a single arbitrage trader who would come and say, I make money with Oanda, I work there like crazy.
So I've enabled the full history. Here, regarding the deposit, we have 2.5 withdrawn, at 447, and the total is 6,142. Well, apparently another 2 went to commission.
Yes, there was a commission.
All right.
Everything's great overall.
US 30 indices.
Yes. I won't go into how we selected it, why we're trading this instrument, or what the combination is.
And I see you were trading it directly with arbitrage.
So when
everything happens in a second, this is classic arbitrage.
And if you right-click now,
okay,
and select Show Milliseconds, I think, or something like that. I'm honestly not entirely sure, to be honest.
Yes, it's there.
You'll see that some trades lasted 48 milliseconds. So that's one. How much? 1/20th of a second, meaning both opening and closing. So it's such a tiny window, it would seem. But what potential is there? I mean, in just 2 days of trading with a deposit of 2,000, 2,500, we made a profit of over 4,000. And here's the thing, everyone who says, and this is important, that classical arbitrage is dead. No, classical arbitrage isn't dead. It's just that you don't get paid for it anymore. But when you trade, for example, on the Chicago Exchange or with Oanda, a very large broker, that's a division of a bank, then you do get paid. It's just that not everyone can set it up, and not everyone has the software that can do this. That's the key difference. We, accordingly, are able to do this. And our software can do it too, because that's exactly how we personally make our money. Let's take a closer look at the accounts.
I'm trying to see how long he was trading.
2 days. The main trading took place over 2 days. Before that, those were also testing phases. So again, in such situations, a volatile market plays a very, very important role. In general, for any high-frequency trading, an increase in market volatility is a green light, because you can make trades and you end up with a small spread, relative to the impulses that are happening.
All right, good. And more specifically, in detail, Mark, what do you want to look at? I turned it on by seconds.
Yes, you can just look at the trades, see how long the trades lasted.
Oh, I see here. 822 milliseconds and 880 milliseconds. So basically that's 58 milliseconds.
Yes, and out of those 58 milliseconds, you can take out another 40 milliseconds is for opening and closing. 20 milliseconds for opening, 20 for closing.
18 milliseconds are left for execution.
No, not for execution, but for the price change that actually gave us the profit.
Uh-huh.
And now, tell me, just write in the comments on YouTube or anywhere else, it doesn't matter, what software can trade within, say, 40 to 50 milliseconds so that both opening and closing happen within that time. And we also managed to pull it off. It's just that a lot of people say there's tons of free software on the internet, on any kind you want. But for some reason, after all these years, I still haven't seen any alternatives that can do something like this.
Yes, absolutely. Free software. Oh, NewHop 3.3.3, that's free software.
Yes, go ahead.
In fact, our very first, or one of the very first versions of NewHop version 3.3.3, as far as I know, is available to the public, but I'm sure it's freely available and anyone can download it, and some people are still making money with it to this day. You just need to connect your stream.
Yes.
You can do that there. Usually those Max people connect it.
Yes, that's how it was. That was the foundation when we were working on it back then. But the whole point of the robot was that once the protection was bypassed, or so to speak, taken apart, we simply stopped focusing on that robot and shifted our attention to developing a robot that would be independent of the platform. A multi-platform one where we can apply our knowledge more broadly instead of being tied to just one MetaTrader 4. And to this day, people are still making money with that robot.
Yes. All right. Regarding trading accounts, we have another interesting account.
Yes, go ahead, of course.
Since some clients don't quite understand how to add trading accounts, I'll quickly give them a brief tutorial.
Go ahead.
To add a trading account, we need to select the Create New Account button. And here you need to type in the server from...
Yes, from the table.
From the table, the one we need. We copy the server from here. We paste it.
Into the search, yes.
And click Find this company. Select it, move on to the next step. And at the bottom, it's important to check the box, connect to an existing account. And now we simply take the trading account number from this table. Paste it into the login field. Choose the password. Usually, the passwords are the same for all accounts.
Investor passwords.
Investor passwords, yes.
Because when we gave out trading passwords, people started adding them everywhere, showing them off. and under,
They added them more often on my Facebook accounts.
yes, under our names, pretending it was some other software, claiming they did something there.
Exactly. And after that, you just click connect. We select the full history. All right, let's scroll down.
Yes, this is a good account. These are the accounts that we don't really show to anyone.
Ones with a long history like this. Just a second.
We traded for about 3 months.
The deposit was 20,016, and the withdrawal was 49,821, so about $50,000.
Yes.
And the total profit I see was actually 104,000 here.
Yes, yes.
It's even interesting to open the commissions tab and see
How much in commissions?
the amount paid in commissions.
The
commissions were more than the profit.
That's right, because there were a lot of factors at play here. So let's specifically talk about this broker. This is actually a great broker. And the point isn't even about the broker, but about the situation itself. Why did we make so much money? Why were we allowed to work for such a long time? So at first we deposited the money. They told us that we could trade, but it was important that we earned. That is, traded as much volume as they needed and paid as much in commissions as they wanted. We met all the conditions and we held back our robot, held back our trading strategy so that we wouldn't earn more than what we were giving them in commissions. Why is this important? Because when, say, a liquidity provider suddenly cancels their profit, the commission from their trading is not cancelled. And when we earn 100,000, with 60,000 of that being commission, the broker can still pay us that money from the commission. He still comes out ahead. It's profitable for him. Specifically in this case, I won't go into the details of the trading strategy itself. The trading strategy itself here is very different from what everyone typically uses. Because here, cross-trading of several instruments is used. Let's put it this way. It's something that's still too early to discuss in terms of our trading clients or the official release of these strategy packages.
Again, I want to point out that several trading instruments were being traded simultaneously. Usually, most often, typically one instrument is found to be working and it is mainly prioritized and traded exclusively.
Yes.
But on this trading account, we can see that completely different trading instruments were actually used.
I can even explain why.
And in every case, the volume was very good. I'm observing.
We were actually trading just one instrument. That's exactly right. The other two instruments, or rather the two pairs of instruments that were included, they were just generating trading volume. So if you separate the data by individual instruments and look at each one, we were actually making a profit on only one instrument. Everything else was just creating additional trading volume and extra trading commissions. But I can tell you right away, when you meet these kinds of conditions, the broker can keep you around for a very long time, because in this strategy, everyone is basically making money. The liquidity provider is paying out this money. The broker, in any case, gets a good commission. So, if the liquidity provider has no complaints about you, then the broker will... Let me tell you more. In such cases, we often get calls from brokers, managers, or top managers of these brokers who say, please increase your volume, we're willing to keep you, we're ready to cover you all the way until the liquidity provider changes, and so the trading conditions. And in these situations, we can work like this for 3, 4, even 5 months. So,
yes, the trading side really is very lengthy. But in any case, all the data is open and each of you can go and check it in your own trading terminal to make sure that this is indeed how it works. We will also publish the entire table on our website to make it easier for you to access. And all new tables and all new accounts that we add will be up to date, and the table will be updated. So we just decided to show the last couple of accounts that were created in 2025, literally the month before last, and a few interesting accounts that we have never published before, simply to explain the specifics of trading with certain companies and how it all works. As for trading accounts, I think we've provided enough information for now. At the very least, we've conveyed the main points we wanted to share.
Yes.
Next, there will be a more detailed video about how to choose the right settings, but that will be more focused on training.
Yes, exactly. There are just so many nuances. And regarding the settings, we'll cover all of that and make an additional video. And as for the actual trading itself, as you can see, we're sharing a ton of insider information with you while describing the accounts. And not everyone is willing to share this kind of information. Most of the time, people who are making money and have set things up somewhere are afraid to show or talk about it to anyone. We've been openly talking about and showing this for more than 12 years now because technology keeps improving, brokers keep changing their terms, but there are always ways to make money. It's just that some people stick to one strategy for 10 years and then come and say it doesn't work. No, Sergey, it all works. You just need to adapt a little, adjust to the market, and make money.
Yes, well, that's good. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We have Telegram groups. The links will be below. You can chat and ask different questions there. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And you can also leave interesting questions about topics you'd like to see new videos on. Maybe you'd like to see live trading or live setup in real time. Anything like that is possible. So
I'd also like to add separately that if you're interested in crypto trading or our crypto bot, you can send your questions about that as well. Why? Because arbitrage and in general, high-frequency trading offer good profit percentages, but there are a huge number of nuances. Our crypto bot has been earning steadily for over a year now. This is real trading, and we have backtests from 2021 to 2025, which show consistent returns anywhere from 100 to 200% annually. And there's no need to worry that you won't get your money back. And you don't have to stress about setting anything up or running around anywhere. You set up one account and just check that it works. That's it.
Okay, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you all for your attention. Stay with us. Things are only going to get more and more interesting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.